What's up, Vankas?
Hello, Vankas. Listen, guys, this is a special episode because we are in Arlington for the announcement of the newest race on the IndyCar circuit here in this iconic location outside AT&T Stadium. This is going to be in 20 where the Cowboys play, where the Rangers play, all in this complex. There's going to be a race happening here, and we got to talk to two-time Indy 500 winner Josef Newgarden, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Because he won it again this year. And we got to talk to three-time IndyCar champion Alex Palou, also
Friend of the pod.
friend of the pod. So just a couple friends hanging out. So, enjoy our interviews with them.
Yep. Just a couple of peers.
Just
A couple of homies.
Just guys being guys. At this point, it's just talking to a friend. That's what it is. All right, enjoy.
What's up, Vankas?
What's up, Vankas? We are here in Arlington for the announcement of the newest race on the IndyCar calendar here in Arlington. We've got the AT&T Stadium in the background. We're here not only in Arlington, we're here with two
institutions. We've got the stadium, Cowboy Stadium, and Josef Newgarden.
Two-time Indy 500 back-to-back winner Josef Newgarden. How you doing, man?
I'm great. I love the energy. I love seeing you guys. Congratulations on all the success too.
Oh.
You know, when you guys started, it was at the bottom, okay? But not anymore.
Yeah. That's
right.
Not anymore. I'm a huge fan. Love what you guys are doing.
Equal levels of growth since we last saw each other.
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Well, when we met you,
I was like, this guy hasn't even won an Indy 500. Like, what we were both low. You'd only won a few championships, I think.
just a few. Yeah. Couldn't crack that Indy 500.
Didn't crack that 5. And then, I remember, the first time we talked to you, we were like, this is the thing. Do you think, is this the feather in the cap? And you were like, yeah. But okay, now you've done it twice. You've done it 2 times in a row. No one's ever won it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, the numbers aren't on our side going into next year.
Yeah,
like
but the numbers are never on your side going into any 500.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big believer in those type of stats. I mean, it's never happened. You know, what are we going to be? We're going to be the 109th running.
Right.
I think that's right. I think the 108th was last year. That would be embarrassing. That's wrong. But yeah, it's never happened. I do think it's exciting. Look, I had gotten to the point where I thought winning that race was never going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those, specific events that it's just really, it's like the Monaco Grand Prix. It's like you could deserve to win it. But it's exciting. No. But it's a big deal.
But it's objectively better.
It's a really big deal. You guys know how it is in IndyCar. Like, everyone looks at it like you don't have a complete career unless you conquer that race.
Right.
And, finally, I mean, it took me 12 tries, and then we got it back to back. So it's pretty cool. Look, I think we can win more races there. It's just anything at this point is just a bonus. Like, I'm really thankful that we conquered 2.
And how does the second one compare to the first one in terms of feeling?
It was more gratifying.
Really?
The second time around.
First one was like a relief, probably.
Yeah, it was a relief. You were like, wow, that actually happened. I remember crossing the line. It was like, finally.
Yeah.
And I think anybody that's been there a long time, Will Power had the same sort of elation. It was like, finally, I've been working on this thing forever. But then the second time around, it's just like, it just cements it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we got it. And now we got one on top. So try and say anything after that. I just think that second one really solidifies things.
Right. What did you go into the second one? What was your mentality going in? Because I remember when we talked to you after you won your first one, you were kind of like, every year I come in here and I've done all the homework and the night before, but this time I was like, my mind's blank. I'm just going to go off instinct. Were you coming in with that same mentality, or what was the difference?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. I think, most races you're putting in a lot of hours across the weekend. Typically our format's 3 or 4 days is the race weekend. The month of May, you're there for like 2.5 weeks.
Right.
It's a long time. And I think you can overthink things by the time you get to the race day, you've been there 2.5 weeks, you can overthink it.
Yeah.
And it's like, just look, we've already done the work. We sort of have the car. We know what we need to be doing. I've done it many times. Just go and enjoy the race and do your thing.
We have a dumb question. When I was like watching the race and Pato passed you, I'm like, this feels like just like when Ericsson passed you the lap before. It's like the point is to pass him at the end of the race, not the lap before.
Is it foolish to lead the last lap of the Indy 500?
It's so hard to critique that.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can look at that and go, well, why'd you do it then? To Pato. But
yeah.
what if the yellow comes out? If a yellow comes out when we go into turn one and he's leading, he wins the race. So it's impossible to predict. Also, we were both sizing each other up at the end there, trying to understand where the runs were good and not. It was tough when you got passed on the front straightaway. It was hard to regather the car, and 1-2 got very sketchy. It was like very hard to follow through 1-2. So I think his logic was, I'll pass him into turn one. He'll struggle to regather off of 2, and then he could probably just hold me to the line.
It kind of did look like going into 2 that I was like, oh, maybe he has it here. Maybe it wasn't as solid coming out of there. Did you feel that?
Yeah, it was. It was very difficult to stay close. Everybody was getting the runs off turn 4 at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why you saw people mostly passing on the front straightaway.
So when he passed you, you weren't like, idiot. Definitely not.
No. Honestly, I mean, look, that's why I say it's hard to critique Pato and what he did. We're kind of just reacting off instinct, and you're just trying to make the best decision possible. When he goes by me, I'm thinking I just have to get by him as quickly as possible. I wasn't thinking, it has to be here, or I have to time it. It was just as quickly as I can get back by him is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like on the back straightaway, I just took whatever run I had and said, I'm going for it. And I think you kind of have to approach that race that way. It's sort of a everything or nothing.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that matters at Indy is winning it.
For sure.
That's
but
crazy.
that Indy, is it unique in the fact it's like there's so much changing of the guard in terms of like who's out in front? Like, for so much of that race, there's just like, and I'm just hanging back here, just wait. It seems like it's just this. Everyone's just kind of waiting for the right time, and then you just try to get there at the end as fast as possible. Like, did you have to learn the patience of it? Was that like an adjustment period?
It's a good question. The pacing of the race has changed over time. Now it's gotten harder to stay in that top group. So in a lot of ways, the top group is hanging out most of the race.
Yeah.
But you can't just stay in the top. You're not just like, oh, we're all just hanging out up here. Like everybody's fighting to be in that top 5 running order.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult now throughout the race to stay there. So that's what the fight is okay, I want to stay in this sort of bubble up front and wait for that final showdown. But it's not just a given to stay up there. People are like, jockeying back and forth. So that's what's made it difficult. And that's what makes, I think, the whole race, it's not just a wait till the end and then the race is really happening. I mean, it's a fight all the way through.
Yeah.
But the tough thing about Indy is there's so much that has to go right. Of course, that's true for every race, but it just seems magnified at Indy.
Right.
Like there's just a lot of preparation. There's a lot you can overthink because of the pressure of, being there for a long time and then you got one day to do it. The pit stops have to be flawless. You can't make one little mistake. How many times have we seen, you guys have only been there a couple years, but there's so many races where you think you know who the winner is and they make the smallest mistake at the end and then it's lost. So it's just got to be a perfect storm on that day.
And obviously you're really good on ovals. Like that's what you're known for. When they moved this track to a road track from the Speedway, did you feel like that was like a personal attack? Because you own that course.
Well, I mean, look, in one hand, I love Texas Motor Speedway.
Right.
So it's sad to not go back there, but I don't like just ovals. I mean, I love anywhere
but you like
we go.
winning.
I do like winning. I do like winning. We can win on road and street courses. I think we're still the most recent. If you look at who's the last person, I'm going to tout myself here. The last person to win on all track disciplines, I think, was us in the 2 car. They used to have a challenge like 2 years ago. It was like $1 million challenge, and we won it.
Right.
So I think our road and street course form recently has kind of been up and down. Our oval form has been tremendous, just across the board, and it makes everything easier when your cars are really good. So having said that, I love that we're coming to this event. I think this is going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
When I grew up racing, I wanted to race in the biggest events in the world. Things like the Indianapolis 500. I think this has the potential to become one of those marquee events. It's like the Grand Prix of Long Beach.
Right.
Which, you kind of rival to the Indy 500.
This is like this view.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
iconic.
Crazy.
Well, if you see the renderings too, the way that they're going to build this complex out, these are iconic brands. I think IndyCar partnered with the Dallas Cowboys, the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Being in this complex, I mean, this is one of the greatest sporting venues that you find in the United States. So I think having an event here, really fits us.
And have you gotten a look at the track yet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's looking pretty cool.
It's very cool. I mean, it's going to be curated is the thing. And by curated, I mean I think they're going to be able to put much more detail into refining it because they control this complex really well.
Yeah.
A lot of places that we go, that street course venues, you only can control so much.
Right.
Right. And that's the fun part too. I love street courses because they're a little chaotic and you got to, the tracks have character. You have to work with what you got. I think this will have a lot of character, but it will be a super high-end racetrack. If you see the renderings, like the way they're going to put it together is very impressive.
Yeah, Brian, what you were saying, it looked like Baku a little bit. Like it has like really long
given
straights and interesting
that
turns.
long straight, got that like kind of like winding slow medium speed, kind of that little semicircle there.
Yeah, I think it's, most street courses you pile all the downforce on. You don't even think about trimming the car. I think here you're going to have to trim.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be really exposed on the long straightaway, and it's a winding straight.
Yeah, it's not like a Monza just flat out straight.
It's very Baku style, like you said. It's super similar to that. But I think you're going to be really exposed if you're leading this race.
Right.
It's going to be a huge draft fest. So the amount of trimming that you need to do is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of iconic brands, we found this commercial.
Oh, no.
A milk commercial.
It wasn't a milk. It was an 8500 commercial where there's like a milk gimp.
Oh, my God.
There's a guy in a suit.
Who showed you guys this?
The internet.
Do you want to know the backstory on this?
Yes, that's all we want to know.
There's an actual story.
For context, it's this commercial. We'll put a link in the description.
Oh, my gosh.
Joseph is like
a young
drinking
Joseph.
the milk, and you see the milk coursing through his veins.
Well, that part is me. I'm not. I'm not the other part.
No, and there's a guy who may or may not be Joseph. We don't know.
Not me.
Is an American Horror Story kind of outfit. And
spoiler alert, that's not me. Okay, I am. When you see my face, it's me. When you don't see my face, it's not me.
Okay.
So let me give you the backstory. I hate that this still lives. To be honest with you, I think this is from
the digital footprint.
I think it's from 2013 or 14.
Yes.
So I was still kind of a rookie, right?
Yeah.
I was with a smaller team,
Yeah.
and we got asked every year before the 500. There's always like, whoever's putting on the 500, the network. They do like big pre-event pieces, and they're like, we're going to bring in this like super creative director, and we want to use you as like a highlight into the Indianapolis 500. So I was like, a rookie, you're thinking, absolutely.
This is my shot.
They asked you to do that. You're like, I want to be front stage before the Indy 500. That's an amazing honor. Thank you so much. And so I go to the Speedway to film this, and this is like this world-class acclaimed director. He's done like amazing pieces. And he's like, I meet this guy, and he's like, hey, you like the movie Gladiator? I was like, yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. He's like, we're going to make you look like Gladiator. Okay? How's that sound? And I'm like, that sounds amazing. I'm new to this, and that sounds amazing. I'd love to look like Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Yeah.
So we go through, he does all the filming with me at the Speedway, and like I have no idea what type of piece they're going to put together with what they just filmed with me. He was like, and some of it was a little weird. He was like, I want you screaming, like, the milk's going through your veins. I was like, all right, that sounds a little awkward, but I'm sure this guy's, he's a pro. He's going to make this look great. And I don't know anything about this piece after I filmed that, right?
Yeah.
And then, so we run the Indy 500, and it was not a great day. And I get done, and I get all these texts, and people are like, did you see the pre-event? I was like, no. And they were like, they made a really weird piece with you.
Yeah.
It was very awkward. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I saw it finally, and I was like, that's what they made? That's nothing like Gladiator. This guy completely lied to me. It's the weirdest piece, probably. I don't even know how that got approved, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's a real thing that they put before the race,
It's
so never
beautiful,
again.
Yeah.
But it's a part of our digital footprint.
Yeah.
It humanizes you, even though you're a cyborg in it. It's like, look at this guy. He was clearly roped into this.
Yeah.
There's no
Very
way.
I also like, if you actually watch it, it's so awkward. They played that piece. It's probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to the announcers, and they're like, well, anyways, it was like super awkward for them. So
That's great.
Again, I don't know how it got approved, but it's
And
out
they
there.
showed like the gnarliest crashes. Like I don't even think they would show those anymore.
I mean, they would. It was just the context of the way they made that piece was so bizarre.
Yeah.
And it won an award.
It won an award.
Did you guys hear about that? They won an award.
No.
And I was like, for what? I don't even know what the award was, but
It's an award.
Was it like a good award or like a Razzie award?
I don't know. I think it was a good award, but they give those things out like candy nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe you'll have to make some other version of it for 2026 for the first running of this race here at Arlington. Joseph, that's all the time we've got.
Hey, Joseph, really quick though, can we give you a glass of milk and then you scream and then we'll cut it together and make it look real
We'll
nice?
make it look really nice.
Never again. I see the fine print now.
Okay. It'll be just
Awesome,
like
man.
Gladiator. Thanks so much,
Yeah,
man.
thank you,
Really
guys.
appreciate it. What's up, Vankas?
Hello, Vankas. We are here in Arlington for the announcement of the newest race on the IndyCar schedule. We are here with this year's champion, last year's champion, 3-time IndyCar champion, Alex Palou. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing amazing. You guys?
We're
It's
doing-
great to be back.
We're doing
Yeah, man.
amazing. It's great to be with you again. So, number 3.
Yeah.
How's it feeling? Are you getting bored of it?
No,
or-
no, absolutely no. It's the opposite. You want more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been great, man. It's been great. Just had very good years and enjoying every single moment.
How does this one compare to your other two? I mean, this year was it's at times looking like who's going to take this thing. But
Yeah,
you wound
this
up on
Kept
top
it
of
interesting.
that.
You gave people hope.
Too interesting. I didn't like it. It was too interesting for me.
Yeah.
Especially getting to the last race. Like the points were very tight. I started 24th, so it was too interesting. But I don't know. It's been a tough year. Obviously, we were amazing, but it's been tough. Like we didn't really have as many wins as last year, for example, or as many podiums. The good thing I had my daughter with me, so I became a dad last December, so that made it extra special. But yeah, on track it was tough.
How does having a kid impact your life as an athlete?
You're a bit more tired. You have a lot more work, but it's amazing, honestly. Like all the work that obviously you have to add up. It just, with a smile, she gives you everything back. So it's just an amazing feeling to be.
You don't approach a corner with like a little bit more hesitation, or it's just,
No.
nothing.
Maybe like 50 years ago, that would have been a different thing. But I think nowadays we're very lucky of how safe
Right.
the cars are.
Right.
And no, maybe in 30 years I'll think about it, but not now. It's my job. It's what I do. It's what I like to do. It's what drives me every day. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because like when we watch F1 and we see when we saw Max Verstappen up the road 30 seconds, we're like, he must be bored. But now he's like fighting for it and he looks miserable. So you'd rather be 30 seconds up the road
100%.
and have nobody near you
100%.
and be walking away. That doesn't bore you.
Absolutely not.
You're not bored at all.
Never.
So if you're lapping the entire field,
I like it. That's my best day. Yeah.
really?
Yes, it's fun.
Because when we go out kart, when Brian will go out kart and he's beating me, he'll like slow down so he can fight me
Yes,
again.
and I do the same if I'm with friends, just to bump to each other and be
Yes.
like, "Oh yeah, I overtook you there." But
Right.
we're racing. We want to win. That's
Right.
what drives us. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
what you want. And once you are up there, I don't really have many races like that, but I had
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
You try and beat your lap time. You try and be more consistent. You try and open the gap. So it's not boring to be alone.
So
Right.
when you watch Talladega Nights, right, and Sacha Baron Cohen goes to NASCAR, he's just looking for somebody to beat him. You don't buy that. Like you're just happy to stay in the formula that you're in.
100%.
You're not looking for somebody to beat you. You're just happy to.
They beat me. I mean, we have 17. We have 17 races.
I only won 3 races this
Yeah,
this
like
year.
it's not that I won
Yeah, exactly,
10 out of 17 or
exactly.
15 out of 17. So
Yeah.
they beat me a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a little bit, it's a lot.
We asked Joseph this because we know that the thing that's you've street courses and road courses, you're the guy. Ovals have been a little bit more of a struggle for you. When you see like now this is going to be another street course, just another course for you to dominate. Are you like?
Were you happy when they moved from the speedway, like for your own personal gain? When they moved from the speedway to a road
100%.
course?
If they keep on adding street courses and road courses, I'm happy.
What do you feel like is going to get you over the hump with the ovals though? Like where's
Man,
the?
I think we're there. I think
Yeah.
we're knocking on that door. Like I finished this year second, third on
Yeah.
ovals last year as well. Like
Yeah.
we're there. It's not
Yeah.
like we're 10th.
Totally.
But yeah, we need to win. Like it takes, I think, a perfect day. I think I've been better and improving, but it's true that I've not been going out leading the race and managing the race. I'm always struggling getting the 100% of the car.
And what
Right.
makes you like an A plus on road courses and just like an A on ovals? Like, what is the, what?
I mean, I grew up doing road courses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've been doing since I was 5.
Right.
And my first oval was just 4 years ago in an IndyCar.
And what's the skill in an oval that you don't learn on a road course?
Well, I think it's a different kind of racing. It's not so much about attacking and getting 100%
Yeah.
of the car, like every single braking zone and forcing the car on an oval. You cannot really force the car. As soon as you
Yeah.
force it, you're on the fence and it
Right.
hurts. The way you overtake, it's more about managing it, and you see it maybe 1 or 2 laps before it happens. Like, you need to prepare for it. You need to open the gap, don't get too close, and just
Yeah.
try and time it. On a road course, you see the gap and you just dive in. So the way you race, it's still the same car, but the way you race, it's very different.
Right.
It's like learning a different dialect.
Yes.
Not a different language.
It's like the same language, but it's a
right.
different, or it's like motorbikes. Just think that if you put a MotoGP rider on a motocross
Right.
track, it's bikes, and
Yeah.
it's like, why are you not better? Well, it's a different kind of
Yeah. I mean, you've only been in IndyCar. This is your 5th year.
yeah.
And you've won 3 out of the 5 years that you've even been here. What's the top of this mountain? I mean, Dixon's got 6, I believe, right?
Yeah, it does.
Are we
Is that
trying
the
to get
goal?
past
Are we
Dixon?
trying to get?
What are we-
What's the goal?
You're young, man.
I mean, there's no.
Your percentages are good.
It's looking good. It's looking good, but I don't think it changes to have 3 or 5.
So why don't you just quit now?
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, you just love it.
I mean, yeah.
That's okay.
That's what I like. I like working with my
Yeah.
engineers, my mechanics, trying and be the fastest. Try and go to a track and beat the competition, beat the other 26 drivers that are there. It's not to get 4 and be
Yeah.
like, it's not going to change. I'm going to be happier, yes, but
Right.
it's not going to change. Oh, yeah, now you have 4 and you are.
When did you feel like maybe you got some type of like monkey off your back? Was it the first one, or did you always kind of have this same mentality?
Yeah, I don't think you get. I mean, next year we all start with 0 points.
Right.
Yeah, you're the 3-time champion, but what? Like, it doesn't change. They don't
Okay.
give you more points for that, or they don't.
So you're not chasing stats. You just love the process. You love getting up every day and going
Yeah.
racing.
That's what I love. Yeah, tell me, what does it change 3 or 5?
I mean,
Apart of stats, yes, and saying 5 or 3.
well,
I tell that to Lewis Hamilton, who's really wants 8. That's really
Or
important. to him.
Jordan with it's like in these sports,
Yeah.
Tom Brady with 7,
Or
I mean,
Tiger-
maybe in
Tiger
10
with
years,
Masters
maybe in 10
or-
years I'll be like that, but
Right.
now I don't
I see.
chase
I
a
see.
number. I don't. I think it's not going to change much. What it's changing is if I can continue to win, if I can win next year and do 3 in a row. That
Right.
I'm looking forward to try and get that. But yeah, what gets me exciting every day when I wake up, it's not to try and get 6 or 7. It's to try and go on the first race in St. Pete and beat them all again.
Okay, what about Thermal this year?
Yeah.
Because you won a lot of money.
Yeah, not as much as you think, but yes.
What was the vibe of winning that race? And did you make any fun purchases with the? Of course, it's not. To me, it's not that because we
wasn't the whole million, and there was taxes.
But did you buy anything fun with that?
No.
Prize money?
No.
Is that
actually,
going
I
into
didn't.
your?
Diapers, a lot of
Yeah.
diapers.
The
There's a
college
lot
fund?
of. I mean, yeah, a baby comes with a lot of expenses, new
Right.
expenses that come every week. But no new purchase from that. Well, I actually this year bought a classic car, a Bronco, 1971,
Oh.
which I always wanted to have.
Nice.
But it didn't come from that. Like I just
Right.
wanted to do it anyway. So, yeah, no
Okay.
big things.
It's responsible.
Wow.
No, I mean
man.
I'm building a house as well, so
Okay.
probably
No, that's responsible.
yeah. It just
Yeah.
Where
Right.
went into that.
Where
In Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
see.
Yeah.
And what about this road course is exciting to you, other than that it's a road course? And when you heard that the Texas Motor Speedway was gone, were you like, oh no, that's terrible?
I
feel
actually did very good last year when we raced there.
Yeah.
I finished 3rd. It was an exciting race. But I mean, I'm looking forward to this one, man. Like, if you look at how the track is looking, have you seen the track?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a quick look at it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also how they want to put the hospitalities, like looking to the track and the cars going underneath the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the level of this GP is going to be right here, and it's going to be probably our second best event of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to also this event raising all other events, because they will be like, man, we need to raise our level. So I think this can be our second Indy 500. It's never going to be, but I mean our second biggest event.
Like your
Definitely.
biggest street course?
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that long
epic.
straight looks really cool.
Nowadays it's Long Beach and it's huge, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
think this can be bigger.
Yeah.
And hopefully this pushes Long Beach to be even bigger. So that pushes everybody to just
Are
improve.
you guys already talking about like how you're going to approach this race? Or
Not yet. I mean,
Not yet.
Not yet. I've
Yeah.
seen the track a little bit. I mean, we drove a little bit yesterday. It's bumpy. It's gonna be bumpy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long straight.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'll wait until we get like same models so we can drive into that and then start working on the car.
Amazing.
It's exciting.
When does a 2025 prep start for you? What are you in it now?
Yeah, we are.
You're just in it.
We are. Yeah, I mean, yesterday before flying here, we were with the team just talking about stuff for street courses, actually. So we start with the street course next year,
Yeah.
25. We need to get better at that. And yeah, it's ongoing, which is what I love.
Amazing.
What's your favorite part of racing other than the winning?
I would say the competition, like getting to a track and knowing that there's 26 other drivers with a big crew, like probably 10 people between engineers and mechanics trying to be better than you. And you're like, no, we can be a little bit better. Or if they are better, trying to work our way to that. Is it the car that I need to improve? Is it myself? Do I need to push myself? That's what I like. Obviously, I don't like it when we finish 20th.
Right.
And everybody beats you, but you learn from that. And what I like is when we're successful, even though if we struggle a little bit, and we can still be the best.
Love it. All right. Well, best of luck. My money's on you, man. I'm betting on Alex Pelotto.
Yeah, I'm not trying to lose money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make money.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.